It's Monday, the day of the week when I go through and take a look at online businesses that have just been listed for sale. Today, December 5th, we're going to take a look at a school consulting company with multiple ongoing contracts, a fully remote medical staffing agency, and an SBA pre-approved Amazon sellers mastermind. Now you can see all the other tabs I've got open up here. There were quite a few good businesses or businesses that I liked that were listed for sale this week, which is a total flip from last week. Last week, I'd almost consider that a flop. There was one business I discussed on Monday, and I think I found more later on in the week, but nothing quite like this. There was a lot of good ones here, so I had to really pick out three of them that I really liked. Now, the first two of them are unique in the sense that while they are online businesses, they're not your traditional online business. They're not like a e-commerce business or a SaaS product or some type of digital service. They're a little bit more niche, and they're more like businesses that have traditionally existed offline, but now with technology, they have moved online and can be operated online. And I think there's a lot of good businesses out there like that, and maybe even some that are local businesses that you could bring online. So let's jump into the first one here. The school consulting company with multiple ongoing contracts. They do not give us the cash flow. They give us an asking price of $1.2 million and revenue of just over $1 million established in 2005. New Jersey School Consulting Company. For sale is a 17-year-old consulting company in New Jersey dedicated to improving food service, custodial, maintenance, and grounds programs for K-12 districts, whether self-operated or contracted. They offer program analysis and assessment, confidential outsource modeling, RFP/RFP process management, and RFP stands for request for proposal, so like purchase orders, program monitoring and compliance, and shared services feasibility assessments to their clientele, which consist of private school districts and charter schools. Currently, they're the only company in the market offering both services for facilities and food services. They're busy year-round. Food monitoring makes up 36% of the revenue. Yeah, what is this? Food monitoring makes up 36% of revenue. Custodial/facilities monitoring makes up 56% of the revenue. One-time projects, only 8%. So very high recurring revenue here, or ongoing contracts. The new owner can operate this business 100% remotely. The owner desires to retire and has 9 staff who he is confident will stay with the company post-sale. Currently, they're the only company in the market offering both services. Okay. The new owner can grow the company by establishing their business model in different locations, as they are only located in New Jersey. All right, so this is interesting. One thing that really jumps out at me here is why have they not expanded outside of New Jersey, right? And possibly if this owner is retiring, we don't know how old the owner is, but if they're legitimately retiring because they're older, not just because they're getting a huge windfall of cash from this business, possibly they just weren't motivated to do that expansion. So I kind of like that. That's a pretty good point here. The other thing that jumps out at me with this listing, besides for the fact we don't know the cash flow, so we can't establish how realistic of an asking price this is that there are 9 staff. So 9 staff on revenue of $1,058,000 means that basically, every employee is paid about $100,000, and that means that they'd be full-time at that. So I would probably guess that with a business like this, these are independent contractors. I would probably guess that. And, we can't really tell because we don't know what the cash flow is. Now, that said, they don't give us that, but it's been around since 2005. They're asking $1.2 million for it. And they have $1 million in revenue and 9 employees. I don't think that this thing is cash flow negative. Probably making $300,000 to $400,000 a year. Now, as far as the actual market here, this is really something I don't know anything about. My closest experience would be in some of the home service businesses. We would get phone calls from companies that were doing these types of analyses and modeling for like county and city projects. They're planning a park and they want to know how much a covered pavilion is going to be, kind of thing. And we would interact with them on that. So I do know that local governments spend a lot of money on these types of consulting things. And it's really at least the way I see it, it's really a thing for like a cover your ass, right? As a manager or as a politician or school board leader, whatever your position is, You want to have a consulting company that says, yes, this is the best choice. So that way you're not entirely responsible for that. And that, that happens in the corporate world as well. A lot of high level executives will do that and they'll get things backed up by a consulting company. So that way if it totally flops, it is them that's responsible for, making that decision, but they were going based on somebody else's data. So these types of things will always be around. And this is something I really don't know how big the market is or how much of it exists, but they're doing $1 million a year of this in New Jersey. It certainly exists in many other places, I'm sure, and probably exists everywhere, right? Wherever there's a school district. This is a really interesting business, and I do like it. My only hesitation would be, right, like how do you get more ongoing contracts? Obviously, if you buy this business, you're getting your hands into these existing contracts. Now you can go to the next state over, which New Jersey is Delaware. Delaware would probably be a bordering state and say, hey, we do all these in New Jersey. We want to, bid on yours or provide a proposal for you or whatever the actual offer is. So as a buyer, if I were to buy this business, I would want to make sure that the owner himself was not a key deciding factor in them getting these contracts, right? Not that, so that the owner himself is not, best friends with the superintendent of the school district, so to say. Let's go on to our next deal here. A fully remote medical staffing agency asking $4 million. Also not giving us cash flow, $9 million in revenue, holy shit, established in 2003. Business description. Medical staffing agency, 100% remote, multiple ongoing contracts. For sale is a 100% remote nationwide medical staffing agency based out of Sheridan, Wyoming. The company staffs per diem and travel placement of healthcare professionals. Because of its strong pool of travel nurses, travelers, and staff retention, the agency has a history of excellence and has not suffered through COVID pandemic as other businesses did. They had explosive revenue growth from 2020 to 2021 due to a spike in travelers as they recruited more actively. The growth has continued as they continue to attract RNs in other high-end nursing roles. There are numerous contracts in place and they have a trusted reputation. Each contract for an RN ranges from $90 to $150 an hour on a 13 to 16 week contract. They have with an 18% margin. They have 200 nurses working active contracts, but also have a pool of up to 900 nurses on call for future agreements. Most of these nurses like moving between hospitals and as a result have very long tenures and will continue to stay with the company for years to come. Clients include hospitals, home health agencies, and long-term care centers. The owners are ready to pursue different ventures. The staff is trained to run daily operations. This is interesting. The company is very educational in the market. They not only employ nurses, but teach them how to become independent contractors, which has created a pool of 900 experienced on-call nurses. The buyer could increase revenue by taking advantage of numerous untouched vendor management contracts available to them by bringing on more nurses and staff members to facilitate the growth. Another option is to bring increased traffic and web presence through marketing. The owner has built the business thus far through word of mouth, relationships, and referrals. Okay, there is a lot going on here. I mean, this is a big travel nursing placement agency. And I say big, it's big to me. I don't know how big the market is for this type of thing. Are there more than 200 nurses? There has to be more than 200 travel nurses out there that are working on active contracts. Shit, there's probably 200 travel nurses just working active contracts in Los Angeles County. I have a friend that is a travel nurse. And I mean, the way she talks about it, there's all kinds of travel nurses all over. So this is a huge, huge, huge market. Again, it can be operated fully remote. Now, as you're jumping into this is a very people-oriented business. So a lot of online business owners become online business owners because A, the flexibility, but B, because we don't like talking to other people so much. And, we'd rather not have to deal with constant communication and interaction and, how should I say this, facilitating flow between different parties, which is what you're going to have to do as a business owner here. I mean, I guess as a business owner, you're going to be facilitating it between you and your employees, but there's going to be a lot of back and forth between all different people here. So there's a lot of that going on. And this is really a plate load of a business. That said, it seems like it makes great money. If it's doing $18 million, not 18 million, but 18% in revenue or 18% margin on that $9 million, it's doing 1.6 million, cash flowing 1.6 million. So they're probably asking a 3x multiple on this. And I would guess that the 18% margin is what they make on their contracts. So that's like their gross profit margin is 18%. And then if we do 4 million, we'll include the 50,000 in there. Divide that by 3. Yeah, so, the gross profit margin would be 1.62 million. They've got some overhead and stuff that needs to be covered out of that. Obviously very minimal to go from 1.6 to 1.35, so 250 grand in overhead. And that's probably going to be the staff that they have in place. It doesn't say how many employees they have. Yeah, right, 200 nurses. And it said they had somewhere in here they have staff that handles the day-to-day. But it doesn't give us the count on that, So that's only $250,000. You maybe employ 2 or 3 people out of that. Excuse me. To cover all that. So maybe there's not so much going on. I don't know. We don't know how much the day-to-day involvement the owner has with this one. But it's certainly interesting. And I actually really kind of like this business because I think it's in a huge market that they're barely tapping the surface of. Then how do you grow it? That's a challenge to me because I know nothing about the healthcare industry. So if you do, I would love to hear from you. Do let me know in the comments below how you would grow this business because quite frankly, I really need some white space in a few minutes to think this one out. But I do like this business. Finally, the last deal we're going to look at here, an SBA pre-approved Amazon Sellers Mastermind. Okay, this one's by Website Closers, and they are notorious for very, very long business descriptions. They're cash flowing 426 grand, asking 1.28 million. So basically a 3x multiple on this, established in 2015. So it's been online 7 to 8 years at this point. Business description right here in the highlights, we've got a $1,773 LTV, lifetime value, and $197 average order ticket. That's probably going to be their initial order, and they upsell. Website Closers presents an Amazon Mastermind group with a focus on training, coaching, and assisting those that are looking to either get into the Amazon ecosystem or, for those currently operating on Amazon, looking to find ways to mastermind with others to improve their performance on the platform. A mastermind group is made up of a community of like-minded individuals where everybody in a particular field learns from each other, and the owner of the group helps facilitate discussion, thought leadership, and network development. The Amazon community, while vast and growing, still remains a tight-knit group of brand owners, all of which enjoy taking time out of their busy work schedules to attend these networking events and improve themselves. I'm going to guess that they're online because Amazon is generally an online type of thing. The company has created a thriving paid membership community offering wide-ranging services that include coaching, business expansion assistance, and courses that include live and recorded content. More than 6.3 million sellers registered on Amazon today. The company has a massive audience. Now enjoys 60% net margins, lifetime value. Their customers are all Amazon sellers, some of them having just started out. The company has done particularly well attracting newcomers through their trial link, which offers a 30-day trial for $1. More than half of those newcomers move on to full-time membership. This is nice right here. A 30-day trial for $1. I'm not going to come back to this. I guess I'll touch on it now, but basically what this is showing me is they've got a hell of a funnel here. They get people in for $1 and they can upsell to that average lifetime value, or not average lifetime value, but I think an LTV of $1,773. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see if there's anything good. Launched 6 years ago, third-party sellers. Yeah, okay. So this is a mastermind group for people that want to sell on Amazon. I like that it's been around since 2015. The cash flow numbers are good. And this is a huge, huge, huge pool, and I think very growing pool of potential customers behind it. So if the average is 1773 and their revenue is 821, let's just do that. 821, gonna round the numbers, divided by 1773, about 463. I was gonna be way off there on my math. 463 paying members, and I think there's a lot more than 463 people out there trying to sell on Amazon. Now, does it say anything about how they're acquiring new customers? No, it doesn't really say it, other than our $30 trial. It doesn't say if they're running ads or not. But I think there's a big market pool for this, and I think that this mastermind group is barely scraping the surface of this. So a lot of opportunity here, and it's obviously shown that it is a profitable business model and that people ultimately want to sign up and stay with it, particularly if they're doing it starting off with a 30-day trial for $1 and increasing their lifetime value to $17.73. So I really like this business. That's what I've got for you guys this week. If you found this video helpful and insightful, well, number one, be sure to hit the like button to help me out. Number two, hit the subscribe button so that you get all of these weekly online business analyses and kind of deal scouting that I go through. And number three, if you're interested in any of these businesses, I'll put a link below this video to where you can find them. Come to these listings, make an inquiry. If you do make an inquiry, please do let me know. I would love to hear from you guys on that if you make an inquiry on the business. And I'd really love to hear from you if you actually buy one of these businesses or make an offer, anything. I think it would be really cool to hear from somebody that has found a business through my videos and ultimately started down that process. So guys, that's a wrap on this one. Again, if you found it helpful and insightful, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I'm signing off on this one.